Here we have the daily chart for Ethereum, cryptocurrency ticker ETH. This chart is in relation to the US dollar. As we can see here, the Ethereum cryptocurrency is falling in line with most of the other cryptocurrency space at the moment, and prices continue to decline. We haven't seen much abatement in this selling pressure. We've seen some fairly consistent selling pressure for quite a while now. If you've watched my other videos on this, you know that I've been calling for this to occur for quite some time. This is really not a surprise if you've been looking at the chart signals themselves. What we can say about Ethereum is that this cryptocurrency has actually fared better than most of the others. You can really point to Bitcoin in particular, and then some of the other altcoins, which have really experienced much more selling pressure recently. And as far as the cryptocurrency space is concerned, I have been a bit more bullish, I guess you could say, on Ethereum's prospects because I have not been expecting the declines to be so dramatic here. And this has mostly come to fruition. Like the declines here are not as bad as we're seeing in the rest of the space. That said, we are still seeing declines here. I mean, there's no question about that. The bias was still, neutral to negative, or at least less negative than it would have been with Bitcoin. The breaks here are still occurring. The downside breaks are still occurring. We are losing some important support levels currently. So, first, what we have to point to is the fact that, we've really lost this triple bottom support zone, which is found at roughly 2860. This is a level that was tested on 3 separate occasions. It did hold. We did see a fairly strong bounce after those retests occurred. We did see a nice, pretty nice bounce here. But the problem here was the fact that we only posted lower highs. We did not even manage to retest the prior resistance levels, which came in during the March 12 trading session. These highs posted just below 4,100. So 4093 would be the high there. So this was kind of the first red flag here. We did see a massive jump higher in prices. A lot of good buying activity going on there. But we failed to test. These price highs here only posted at. We didn't even break the 4,000 level. This came in at 3973. There was a fairly much smaller rally here compared to the ultimate price move that was seen previously. So currently, we have to contend with the fact that we've now broken through all of the major moving averages and closed below those moving averages. So this is a bit more important than normal because this is a daily chart. It's not a short-term chart, and these moving averages are closely watched by the market. If you've watched my other videos, I've talked about this, where the daily moving averages tend to be much more closely watched and discussed than say the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart or the 4-hour chart or even the 1-week chart. Even though that's a longer term time frame. So losing these exponential moving averages here, that is significant, and that is a worrisome signal. Here we have the 20 period, so the 20-day exponential moving average. Orange would be the 50-day, purple would be 100-day, and the blue line here would be the 200-day exponential moving average. So as we can see here, we've got a daily close below all of those moving averages. Here we can see that we've got three full bodies. The candle body is closing below the 200-day exponential moving average. So that alone is a warning signal. In addition to that, we've got a relative strength index reading that continues to slope lower, which means that momentum for this cryptocurrency is negative. It's bearish, and strongly so. I mean, this is not, there's not really much that's encouraging in this reading, except for one aspect, and I'll get to that in a moment. And then in addition to all of this, you have now broken below this triple bottom support zone that I've been pointing to for quite a while. This is a very important level of support. As we can see, last time it was tested, we saw very significant gains. There was a very strong bounce from here. So what we can see here really is that this did not occur this time. On this fourth test, we've got kind of three tests here. On this fourth test, prices broke through it. We didn't really see any bounce here. This is one daily candle, and we're not seeing any bouncing activity from this level. We are seeing a bit of a corrective pullback to the top side. But this is a very weak candle here. You can see just by comparison, it's a small candle, this green candle. Um, and the highs and lows here are relatively minimal. They're muted. It's a very constricted trading range. So, I would expect that I do not expect prices to bounce from here. Don't shoot the messenger here, but there's nothing on this chart really that points in the positive direction, except for one small aspect here, and I'll explain that now. So here we currently have, um, if we look at this lower arrow here, we can see that Ethereum has fallen into oversold territory and is now attempting to roll over out of oversold territory. So that is a bit of an encouraging kind of feature here or signal that's being seen on this chart. But it's, we have to remember this is only one aspect. And let me underline this part. You do not want to be basing trades on any single aspect like this. But I mean, this is a relatively minor positive aspect. I am trying to cover both sides here as much as possible. Because this isn't about hopes and dreams. This is about whatever the chart tells us. We have to be honest about our trades here. So, we are trying to roll over out of oversold territory. But overall, the momentum reading is still negative. So, we could roll over out of here, fairly strongly to the top side, and momentum could still be negative if we fail at this trend line. So, given the fact that we have broken through this triple bottom resistance zone, we are now through all of the major exponential moving averages on the daily chart, underline on the daily chart. Um, and we failed to retest the prior highs. Currently there is almost nothing in this chart that points to the top side. The one positive aspect that I can see here is the fact that we are oversold. So we've extended a bit too far too quickly here in downside price action. And we're trying to roll over out of there. That's encouraging. But the balance of the evidence here is still pointing to the downside. And, this alone, this one signal is not enough to start entering into buy positions here. So, we need to wait and be patient because this is not over yet. It's a widespread, decline in cryptocurrencies. So, don't try to be a hero here and, step into these, you don't want to step in front of step in front of an oncoming train. So overall, you still need to be patient. These declines are not finished. Here's the current market analysis for Ethereum cryptocurrency ticker ETH.